Hi everyone. Today I'll be making ground beef jerky sticks, not teriyaki, but the original flavor, although I'm not going to be using ground beef. So what all goes into the ground beef jerky sticks? I'm going to be making 2 batches. And again, like I said, I'm not going to be using ground beef. I'll be using 1 pound of water buffalo for my first batch. And this is fallow deer. That'll be the second batch. 1 pound of that as well. 2.5 tablespoons sweetener, your choice. I'm going to be using sugar. 1 teaspoon salt. If you want less sodium, use 1/2 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon black pepper. 2 teaspoons garlic powder. 1/4 teaspoon cayenne pepper. 2 tablespoons soy sauce. It didn't say on this recipe for reduced sodium, but I'm going to reduce the sodium and then just use the full amount on the salt, and 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce. So let's begin. Take a small bowl, mix all the dry ingredients together. The 2.5 tablespoons of the sweetener of your choice. You can use monk fruit, stevia. I don't know what the other sweeteners are. 1 teaspoon of salt, or for less sodium, 1/2 teaspoon. I'm using 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and I did just a little bit over 1 teaspoon because I like black pepper. 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And mix that up. You're going to need a jerky gun for this. You can do it without, but they may be uneven and then they'll cook unevenly. So with the jerky gun, the thickness is the same. I'm so glad Dave bought me a jerky gun when I made Buddy's little jerky treats, because now I can make people treats. Set that aside. Take another small bowl, dump in your 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and I'm using the reduced sodium, and mix that until combined. Preheat your oven to 300. Like I said, I'm going to be making 2 batches, 1 of the water buffalo, 1 of the fallow deer. I won't show the fallow deer on camera because it's exactly the same steps. It's just a different meat. However, I will have Dave do a taste test on both of them. So take a bowl and put your water buffalo ground meat in the bowl. My mother-in-law gave us the fallow deer and the water buffalo meat, so I've been excited to use that for whatever I need to. Then take 1/2 of your seasoning and put it with the water buffalo or ground beef, and all of your liquid ingredients, and then mix that up. I've got clean hands. I got my jewelry off, and I like mixing it with my hands like I do the meatloaf, because then you can actually feel how well it's mixing. If you don't like to get your hands all icky, you can use gloves or you can just use a spoon. Then take the second half of the seasonings, dump it in the bowl with the water buffalo mix, and get that all mixed in. Now I'm actually going to try, you've seen me in the past with Buddy's treats and the teriyaki strips, that I use the little strip nozzle. I want to make these into like little sticks, and so I'm going to give it a try. If they don't work out, I'll just finish them up with strips. So what I have here is a baking sheet lined with aluminum foil, topped with a baking rack. We're going to put the sticks on the baking rack. If it drips, it'll drip on the aluminum foil, and you won't have much cleanup because you're using the aluminum foil. Here is my jerky gun, the plunger to plunge the meat down. I'll be attempting to make the sticks, this is a double stick nozzle, and so I'll be making 2 at a time. They have single ones, but they're bigger around, and this is about the size I want. You want to take your gun apart so I can show you the little plunger there. It has the handle or the trigger. This is the tube that you put the meat in. And with the plunger, we want it to be way back, so as you're pulling the trigger, it actually advances and pushes the meat out the nozzle. In order to do that, you want to push down this metal piece and then just pull it back. Then we put the tube back on. You want to put that back on so you can load it. You want to load it with the meat. You want to take this end off and load your meat. And we're going to put the meat in. Now, I've cooked with water buffalo before, and it's really a good flavor meat. So I think this will make good beef sticks. You'll just push that down as far as it will go. And then when you can't push it down anymore, you put your nozzle on. And it likes to turn, so you gotta kind of hold it so it stays in the spot you want. And it is where I want it. I am not sure how many these will make. I'm hoping they can all fit on this rack. Pumping it up, getting the meat down to the end, you'll be able to feel it in the gun when it's ready to squirt out. Okay, and shoot ski. Okay, this one kind of fell apart. All right, I'm going to take the rack off. I found my other rack. It's too big for this pan. The squares are closer together. We'll try this again. I think my other one is plugged, but that's okay. I would rather just do one anyway. And I'll finish that and I'll be back. Well, it had a lot of liquid in it, as you can see. It made 20 of them. It did not do 2 at a time, which I'd rather it didn't. I don't know how well they'll turn out. And when I do the deer one, it'll depend on how well these turn out, on whether I do the strips or the sticks. Just saying. Put this in a preheated 300-degree oven for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, open up your oven door to let all of the moisture escape. This is crucial to prevent bacteria growth. After the moisture has escaped, we'll put the oven ajar and turn it down to 170 degrees and let it cook for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours for beef strips and 3 hours for beef sticks. These sticks are kind of small. I will be checking them probably 2 to 2.5 hours because they are small. They're kind of thick. I don't think they'll go for 3 hours though, but we'll see. All right, so after 2 hours, I didn't even go the full 2.5 hours because they were so small. So this is what it looks like. I could probably cook them another half an hour and then they would be really tough and hard to chew like jerky. These are like a beef stick, you know, that you bite into, and a little bit harder than the strips. They look pretty good. But anyway, I think they look like little turds. I think with the fallow deer, I think I will do the strips. I'm going to let these cool, and then I'm going to vacuum seal them. So we'll see you at the taste test to taste the water buffalo sticks and the fallow strips. See you then. So Dave's going to try some of the homemade jerky that I made. First off will be the water buffalo sticks.
Oh, wait a minute. This says it's water buffalo.
Yes, it's water buffalo sticks.
Pretty good. Is that teriyaki or?
No, it's got just different seasonings. It's like an original flavor.
Okay. Kind of reminds me of teriyaki. Pretty good. I like it.
And the last one he's going to try is the fallow deer. It is the same seasoning as water buffalo.
This has a slightly different texture. The taste is not drastically different, but this is a little more tender, I think.
Those are the strips. The other ones are the sticks. They both were a little bit moister than the teriyaki ones because I had to thaw them out. Those was frozen.
Well, I like them both.
Recipe deals for easy meals. Please like, subscribe, and share. This is Cooking with Sherry. Until we meet again.